Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to talk about this knife right here. This is the Arno Bernard IMamba. And this is a knife that I first was told about on Instagram by a guy named Joey F. I don't want to say his name because I'm not sure if he wants me to tell you. And he showed me the IMamba pictures, and I was like, damn, that looks pretty good. He's like, yeah, it's a South African maker. They're doing these production runs. It's pretty reasonable pricing in terms of what you get. And it's just a cool looking knife. And I was like, okay. So that happened. I messaged them and I was like, hey, I'd be interested in checking one of these out for review when they come out. And they were like, yeah, we'll have some in September. We'll get back to you and we'll send you a few to check out. That was in like May or like June or something. So I remembered the other day randomly about it, and I looked it up and I realized I had never gotten back in contact with them. And they had already sold through the pre-order they did in September and everything. And they were just sending some knives to a place in Ohio called African Sporting Creations. So I just want to say I bought this from African Sporting Creations. You can check the website out. I'll try to link it below. They carry Arno Bernard knives. I think they're the only dealer of these knives, and it's the only knives they sell. Tough enough to use, nice enough to collect. So I got the knife yesterday, and I did an unboxing, which obviously is not on YouTube, and I will explain. Here is the COA IMamba, model number 8200, plain titanium, RWL 34. They are known for fixed blades. That's why you see there it says sheath and has a line through it. There's a guarantee, and there's a QR code if you want to check it out. You get this cool hank with it, made by Frank Hanks, and it's sort of got an African theme to it. Nice microfiber on the inside. Very nice hank, I gotta say. So those two things come with it, and then here is the knife. Comes very nicely packaged in the cutout with the lanyard on it. Okay? So we put this stuff aside for you. And here is the IMamba. I went with the plain titanium because I just prefer less thickness. And I know on the Sebenzas I've had with the inlays, it makes them quite fat and thick and heavier. And I don't want that. I want a thin, lightweight EDC knife, right? So you can see I've already kind of compared it to the Chris Reeve Sebenza there. It's got that same sort of finish, which personally I really like. People don't like it because it's snail trails. I like it because it looks cool and feels really good in the hand. So it has that same finish. Of course, it has this lanyard on here. And then you have a T25 pivot and I think a T10 on the body screw. I can't be certain of that one. It has a clip, which is has good retention in pocket. It slides in, slides out. It's a little bit stiff going in, but in a good way. Definitely get good retention there. It is a flipper. So, I unboxed the knife, and what tends to happen sometimes happened. I just got stuck on the detent. And so I wanted to redo this. Now, first, I want to preface this by saying I am returning this. This is going back to African Sporting Creations, and I think I'm going to get a refund because I talked to Arno Bernard. The Arno Bernard brothers, I guess, are the ones who manufacture these, but I talked to Arno Bernard, so I guess he's the knife maker and his brothers help. I don't know how it works. And I asked about the detent, and essentially they've all been set the same way. That's what he told me. So they're all going to be like this, so there was no point in getting a replacement, because that was my first thought. Maybe this one just was defective. It had a light detent, right? But apparently that is how they are, and you know what? Some people are going to like that. I saw a review on this knife by Kevin Cleary earlier today. Before getting the knife, I did not see a single review on this knife. It was one of the reasons I wanted to get it, to get some information out there. I searched, Arno Bernard, IMamba knife, whatever. Nothing came up. And a good buddy, the old man on Instagram, that old bastard, He sent me the link to Kevin Cleary's review. So there is a review on this knife out there. It's the one with like mammoth bone inlay or something. Same knife though, and it was from the pre-order, I guess, or a first run. So there is a review out there. Now, he had no problem with the Detent. Never mentioned it. He said the action was great. So I think a lot of people are going to be fine with the way it is. It's just a personal thing for me that when I have a flipper knife, which, for example, I have the MBK sprocket here. When I have a flipper knife, when I pull the flipper tab, I expect the knife to shoot out and deploy. I don't want to have to put extra effort into it. Not that I can't or don't, it's just that in terms of feeling it deploy and getting a satisfaction from it, I want the detent to do all the work. So all I'm going to do is pull this till it breaks. And it flies out and it locks up. And you'll see, if the knife is in my collection, it does that. Right? Here is the Aloni Knives Goat version 2. I'm going to pull until it deploys, flies out, and locks up. Even the Nimble, I'm going to pull until it deploys. That locked up. This one has a weaker detent to go with all the deployment methods. And that is one of my gripes on that knife. The Malibu, pull, deploys. The Holiday from Finch, deploys. Okay? So, you get my point. On this knife, it does that. Okay? I mean, I'm not just weakly pulling it. There you go. So, obviously, if you give it a good amount of pull, it's going to shoot out. It's going to lock up, and it's not the end of the world, right? For most people, I think this would probably be fine. They might not complain about it. Now, a push button, try that again. Sort of a push switch, I guess, works pretty well on this knife. So I just wanted to point that out because that is my reasoning for why I'm sending it back. Other than that, I absolutely love this knife. And that's why I still wanted to do a video on it. It does have a fuller. And left-handed, I do land on the clip. And I can use that fuller to reverse flick it. It is a gorgeous knife. It looks like a kind of shrunken down Arius. It's kind of like an Arius mixed with a Sabenza or something. It's very nice. Now, it's RWL 34, which is basically powdered 154 CM or CPM 154. And I'm fine with that. I mean, it's not the greatest steel. Obviously, I'd prefer M390 or Van X or something. But it is ground extremely well. I heard Kevin Cleary say it was a hollow grind, and I believe it might actually be. Now that I'm handling it again. Yeah, it is a slight hollow grind. At least that's what it feels slight. But it's very thin. I mean, very thin. It cuts extremely well. And this is what I mean by I like everything else about the knife. And that's what's kind of sucks for me is I really like it. So, like, I wish I could just get the detent updated or get another one that's not so weak, but they're all the same, according to Arno Bernard himself. You'll see the action on the close. You can drop it to your nail, a couple of smooth shakes, and she's down. There's no blade play. There's no lock rock. I did watch a review by Jerry Neeb on a different knife they did, the Orca, which had lock slip issues. The lockup on this, I've had no issue with. A couple of taps, no problem. I will say it'd be nice if you could kind of get under that flipper tab and have it, there you go, drop to there. I think this would break in really nicely. It is on bearings. And again, if you give it a good light switch or push button, it's going to come out, right? I just know personally over time that would bug me to no end, and I would end up not carrying this because of the detent. I want it to snap out. If this thing snapped out of there, Like, if it was just a little bit stronger and snapped out of there, this would be one of my favorite knives. The ergos on this knife are ridiculously comfortable. This knife is so comfortable in hand. The clip looks like it could be a hot spot. Haven't noticed it in any grip, right-handed, left-handed at all. The beautiful finishing. I mean, you can get it with warthog tusk, dyed warthog tusk, Cuda wood, mammoth tooth, I think it is, mammoth tooth inlay. And then there's ones with snakeskin carbon fiber. That's the one I would want. They didn't have that, so I got the plain titanium. And again, most people are probably going to be good with this. They're probably going to look at the utility, the beauty, all of those things, and that detent is going to come secondary, and they're not going to mind just doing that. But for me, it needs to be satisfying when I do that. I want it to shout, you know, and lock up. It's kind of deflating, you know, for me. The reverse flick, again, works pretty well. Again, could be a little bit stronger on that detent. You know, it doesn't thwack out with authority, but you can get it to flick really nicely, and it works left-handed. I mean, that's pretty important here. It works left-handed because of the clip being placed in the proper position. The clip is not resting on the lock bar. You can see it's resting on the frame over here. So when I put pressure down, nothing happens. Now, even if I put pressure on the lock bar, I don't think it would make a difference because of that detent. Yeah. There's a little bit of grit in here I can feel. Right there. Ooh, yeah. Oof. Seems new, though. Seems like something just happened. I don't know what that is. Tempted to take it apart to see, but again, not my knife anymore, really. I don't think that could be the cause of anything, because it's breaking right here. I mean, it feels decent on the detent, you know? But it's not even getting to that point where it's having... Now it's just getting stuck there, though. It's got a very interesting lockup. I like it. I really like this knife a lot. That's the thing. It's, you know. I really don't want to take a tool to it, considering I plan on sending it back. So I'm not going to. Looks like they have Delrin bearings in there, actually. Tie connector Delrins. But yeah, I just wanted to do a video on it and show the knife and tell you can get these at African Sporting Creations if you want to. If that detent doesn't, if that's not an issue for you, which I think for a lot of you it's not going to be. And that other thing is just, I mean, that's just a maintenance thing. Something might have just fallen in there a second ago. I don't know what it could have been. I'm sure it'll work itself out too. It was not there out of the box, so. I like the lanyard, actually. This is the only lanyard in existence I've ever just not been bothered by. So that's cool. And it's just gorgeous. I think it's a gorgeous knife. Size comparison, I think it's 3.5 inches. Today I'm carrying the Lefty Cuff version 2, which is 3.5 inches. I also have the Wingman EDC MTNT Mach 3, which is sub 3 inches, 2.875. I love this knife, by the way. Can't wait for the larger one or to get a different color or something. I do like the green. I'm trying to collect all the fat carbons, so I'm on my way there. But yeah, I mean, it's 3.5 inches of blade, I'd say. Maybe a little less. 3.4 maybe. That cuff is 3.5, so if that helps you at all. What's going on with the edge here? I don't know. Flies out. Just saying. Yeah, so I was a little torn. I wanted to love it, you know? I really wanted to love this thing. Oh, is it gone now? Yep. It's gone. So whatever that was is out of there. Now it's nice and smooth. But you see there, it just doesn't shoot out all the way. I just would love that. But again, it's not bad. You know what I mean? It's not bad. It's not like the lightest detent ever or anything. You can easily get it to deploy all the way. And again, you have that fuller, so you can Spidey flick it real easily. Man, it does feel good though. Now I'm wondering maybe I should keep it. Just keep it with the... The reverse flick works pretty well. Can I walk it out? Look at that. Thumb roll it out. I don't know. I just have so many knives that I do like the detents on that, like, I feel like this would just get annoying. Yeah, it's sad though. Now, one thing I want to note is where they put the fuller. I kind of wish it was a little higher up, because then you could kind of be more natural up here, but you kind of have to climb down to get to it. It's going to depend on your hand, obviously. For me, that's how it is. But yeah, you can tell how torn I am on this. Like, I love it, and I honestly want to keep it. Is it back again? It's back again. What the hell? Maybe there is something going on in there that's messing with it. I don't know. I don't know. I'll talk to Arno and see if he wants me to take it apart. But that's the Arno Bernard IMamba flipper, and I really like it, guys. Just because I'm not keeping it doesn't mean it's not a good knife. It's excellent in hand. If you were going to use this knife, if that's your primary, function with it, I think you would really like it. It's $460, so it's not cheap or anything. It's basically Sebenza money. But it's built like a Sebenza in terms of build quality. I really like it. I mean, the detent's better than a Sebenza, that's for sure. I really like this knife. So, I did talk to them. As soon as they have one that is has a stronger detent, I will be picking it up. I definitely want one of these. For certain, I want one of these. So, if I can make that happen, I'll be a happy man. But this is a cool knife. So, that is the Arno Bernard IMamba overview. Thank you to African Sporting Creations for being such a good retailer, accepting my return, no questions asked. And they were so easy to work with. You can call them or email them. Go to the website. They're great people over there. Jim is the guy I talked to, or James. So, yeah. And Arno Bernard, they're awesome as well. Great people. And all around great people involved here, and that makes me happy as a consumer. You know what I mean? Even if the product, this specific one, wasn't for me, I still would 100% buy another Arno Bernard knife, and I would 100% buy from African Sporting Creations again. So for whatever that's worth, there you go. That is the IMamba. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And I will catch you later.